All right, so I've rolled out these strips of dough like this. Now this dough, you'll see, is very, very fragile. And often, as I try to pick it up, in order to lay these strips along the pie, it breaks. But I managed to get that one. So I'm just laying them across the pie, like that. I'm going to put 3 or 4 each way. It's like lattice work, but a lot more fragile. It doesn't matter if it breaks, you kind of patch it anyway. So there's 3. I put a 4th one along here. So you have to be patient. Like this. Like that. And I have 4 more. See if I can manage to get them going the other way. You don't, see how it breaks? Nah, it's going to break again. Put that at the end, like that. I may have to roll this out again. I can turn this so that you can see what I'm doing, like that. See? And I'm lifting this up as carefully as I can. Helps to hold it with both hands sometimes. Get it laid right across there like that. That one I managed to do without breaking it. That's good. 2 more. This one's a little short, so put this one on the end, like this. Actually, would have fit there. Oops. See, so I'm just going to patch it like that. And then I'll get one more. If you cut these a little on the wide side, it's better. Gives them a little more stability. There's that one. I'll lay that there, like that. Okay. So now we have lattice work. And now I'm going to do that same business of kind of cutting around, getting rid of excess like this. And this dough is much thicker, very different from the other dough, softer, harder to work with. I think it's because of the sugar and because of the lard that's in here. So now I'm rolling this up over, kind of incorporating the lattice work. See if I can get this fat back a little further so you can see. Incorporating the lattice work there into the rolling over of the crust. And again, where it's thick, I just pull off some of that dough because I don't want it to be too thick. But with this dough, I do make a rim that sits up a little higher, because this pie filling really puffs up and sometimes it spills right over the top of the pie. Doesn't hurt the taste of it, but it doesn't look as pretty when it does that. So I'm kind of rolling and leaving it a little higher than I might ordinarily do. You want to give the pie enough room to puff. The first couple times I made this, they were not very pretty. So this, I don't like this edge here. There's not enough crust. So I'm just taking some pieces of it and rolling it up like that. Okay, so there's that crust. And I'm going to do the same thing with my 2 fingers, like this, get that out of the way, and like this, very gently, because this dough is a lot more fragile. And then I am going to put it back in the refrigerator. Just let that dough cool a little bit, because the dough also sometimes melts, collapses a little bit. So I want to give it as much height as I can, and I want it to be cool when I put it into the oven. There we go. So see, I'm being a lot more careful with this. It's just not as, it's not dough that you can play with very much. Helps to fingers in a little bit of flour too. Like that. Coax that up and kind of tip it in a little bit like this, because it definitely wants to fall the other direction once it gets into the oven. So you want to give it a little inward tilt before you put it in there. So there's that one. That looks pretty good. I'll put that in the refrigerator for a minute and I'll be right back.